Hey Wildcats, welcome to the Cinema Bros podcast. I'm Tabari.
I'm Michael.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Connor.
And today we're talking about Oscar predictions. The Oscars will be airing out on March 15th. So today we're sitting down and looking at all the nominations that were released a couple of weeks ago.
Let's start with supporting actress. You see, Isaac is already a little nervous. This is going to be a tough conversation. What do you
I don't think it's going to be a tough conversation. I have to start.
Yes,
Go
because
ahead.
as you
Okay.
know, in the last podcast we didn't have Isaac Hudson. Now
True.
we're very glad
Yes,
to
yes.
have
I'm really
him
glad to be
back.
here.
Isaac Hudson is
out.
here.
I was definitely ill last time.
This time he's going to start us off.
Yeah. So I do, unfortunately, I don't know if unfortunately is really the right word. I do think it's probably going to go to Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. I really wish that Chase Infinity was obviously nominated because she's in that movie for the whole thing and gives, I think, and to be fair to Tiana Taylor, like she doesn't have a lot of time to give a very deep performance at all. But I think even then, Chase Infinity is way better in that movie. Like she makes that movie even more so than like Sean Penn or Leonardo DiCaprio. Like let's be honest.
What really makes a supporting character, in my opinion, is how well do the actual, main actors do. Because they can't really do their job without supporting characters helping them. Like that's the whole point of a supporting actor or actress, title.
Right.
And I think for Tiana Taylor, being nominated, she's only nominated because the writing allowed her character to have such an impact on the story.
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything special. She did her thing. There was a lot of scenes that, maybe not a lot of people would be comfortable with. So her going out of her comfort zone to do that, more props to her. But like her actual impact was only based in the writing.
Right.
Like they could have written her into the story to actually impact characters.
Yeah.
But that doesn't but also that doesn't mean that she still should get the supporting role
Exactly.
nomination. Like
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wunmi Mosaka in Sinners.
That's-
She has been winning Best Supporting Actress. I think there's a chance, and so I'm going to predict her because she's amazing in that film. Haley Steinfeld,
awesome.
cool. We talked about that in the other
Yeah.
podcast, but Wunmi, I think, really sells the part because I think it combats against American historical representations of black women, where they're mammies and they're maids and they serve other people, and she just breaks that stereotype so well. And anything, if I'm thinking of any other options, I'd say Amy Madigan. I can see the Oscars going for weapons just to show they don't hate horror movies because that's a very big representation.
Especially after last year.
After Get Out, after so many horror movies have come and passed. That's just me though. I understand where both of you are coming from. I just don't think Tiana's really gonna get it.
I think this category
I
has.
appreciate your optimism because I really want to agree with you. I'm just really scared that it's going to be her, but because I really do want it to be Wunmi Mosaka.
You have to be optimistic during the award season.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Yes, let's transition. Please, let's transition.
Frankly, I honestly can't imagine they don't give it to Delroy Lindo. I think that would be. The Oscars have screwed up a lot of times in giving away an award to someone who it's like, yeah,
You've been in the career for a long time.
You-
Jamie Lee
you
Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, compared to Stephanie Zhu.
Exactly. Exactly. It's exactly like that. They've done it before. We know it could happen. But I just, especially right now, I don't know. I think it would be an absolutely insane thing for them to do to not give it to him. He is, exactly what Tabari is saying. Like, when you think about a supporting role, like, as much as Wunmi Mosaka really grounds that movie, he also, he brings such a richness to that.
Absolutely.
To that movie that it would not be the same without him.
I wasn't aware of Delroy before going into Sinners, because I like Coogler. I like Michael B. Jordan so much. I'm going to see the movie for that reason. However, I sit through this movie and I come out as a Delroy Lindo fan, and he's actually my favorite performance in the film.
Yeah.
And that's crazy when you put it up against, Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, all the different parts of this film coming together, and Delroy just takes it away.
I think that's so interesting. I was going into the movie, I'd seen Malcolm X and Clockers, both starring Delroy Lindo, both really great performances by him, so I was going in thinking, it's going to be another banger. And just like you, I come out becoming the biggest Delroy Lindo fan in the entire world. I think Tabari and I have talked about this, just the position of a black elder in a story with so much fear and uncertainty is so important. And I agree with Isaac. He grounds the film. I think even regardless of his age and how long he's been in the industry, he deserves this. If he was a 30-year-old man with some old age makeup, I still think his performance was one of the best of the year, honestly. His age has nothing to do with it, but it just is a testament to how long he's been in the game. If anything else, I can see it going to one of the Oba actors, Benicio or Sean Penn.
Sure.
However, I lean towards Benicio because Sean Penn has won enough Oscars. He was great as Colonel Lockjaw. He was a captivating part of that movie. but I think Benicio was the same in a very different
Agree.
way.
And the way that people responded to Benicio del Toro's performance in that movie with the same enthusiasm, really, that they responded to Sean Penn's performance.
When he was
like,
in so much less of the
yeah,
film.
it's very telling.
Definitely had less time. If they don't give it to Delroy, everybody who voted needs to be arrested. It would be an insane crime not to give it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, not just legacy. And like we said, they've done that before where people just, get awards because of their legacy.
Mm-hmm.
But he has the legacy and the performance to back it up. I don't think anybody on this nomination list did better than him in their performances, and I don't think anybody had nearly as much impact. I mean, again, Sinners is grounded in so much history. Like when Ryan wrote this script, he wrote it, based off of the roots that he had. He wrote it based off his Uncle James and the Southern roots that he had, and so a lot of this is going back to the history that he knew, and to have an elder Black figure be played and portrayed so well by Delroy. I mean, again, it goes back to the grounding that happened.
What made you say you were scared to say your predictions?
Because Sean Penn is just
he's a darling. The Academy loves him.
It's hard to rule him out, especially in one battle where he is the villain. Honestly, I think he plays the villain very well. It's easy to hate him. And so it's very easy to hate him.
I'm not the biggest fan, but like his chemistry with Chase Infinity, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, he is electrifying.
Yeah, no, he's a great actor and does very well in this role. And so I'm nervous that Delroy Lindo deserves it, but Sean Penn is up there, and I think it could go either way very easily. I don't think either of the other three supporting actors really have a hat in this race. I think it should be between them. And honestly, if Delroy doesn't get it, I would be okay with the Sean Penn win. I would be disappointed, but I would be okay. That
you would be understandable.
It would be understandable, and I'm happy it didn't go to Jacob Elordi.
Right. Like it's what is it? Hydrogen bomb versus coffee. Jacob Elordi, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Is it time for Best Actress?
I think it's time for Best Actress.
I've got takes that I think Connor will disagree with.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going straight in.
Go.
Jessie Buckley is running away with this. Yeah. And as much as I love Emma Stone, especially as her role in Begonia, that is my favorite movie of the past year. Hamnet and Jessie Buckley made me ugly cry in that theater. I think it'd be a shame if she doesn't get it.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't. So again, I haven't seen Hamnet yet, and
I'm gonna toss my hat in the ring and say I haven't either.
I'm the only one that's.
I think
so
you're the
trust
only
Connor.
one.
But that being said,
Me,
I totally I believe Jessie Buckley's gonna win, and I loved Emma Stone and Begonia. Also recency bias. I just watched it yesterday. Finally, I do think that Emma Stone in Poor Things is one of the most best actress deserving and winning performances to date. It's just she's incredible in that movie. And I think that she and Yorgos Lanthimos do such great things together, especially in the last several years. And they did a great thing again with Begonia, and I loved her in it. But I don't think, if we are to compare her Best Actress wins or Best Actress nominations, especially in such a specific situation with the same director, I do think that as much as I loved her in Begonia, she is better in Poor Things. And I loved her in Begonia. She's so awesome in that movie. But I still think that Jessie Buckley seems to have this in the bag already.
It just has less, I don't want to say less power behind it, but less of an argument is to be made for her to win that.
Yeah, it has less impact.
Yeah. I think
100%.
Buckley for sure wins this. And I think there's no question about it.
But I think we can all agree, Jessie Buckley's taking it. Emma Stone was pretty good.
Yeah. And I rewatched Begonia last week, and Emma Stone's performance is even more impressive on the rewatch because what's going to happen, but you see the intricacies and what she's doing, and
it still makes you second guess yourself.
You get convinced.
How am I second guessing myself on
and
the
you know
rewatch?
what
Even
happened?
though I know I have.
You've seen the final scene, and you're still not sure.
Yeah.
But even though Emma Stone and Jessie Buckley both deserve it, I don't think they're going to give it to Emma Stone because of Poor Things.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. That's justified. Jessie Buckley seems, and I think after I watch Hamlet, I'm gonna go, she deserves it just as much. So I'm not. I won't be upset that Emma Stone isn't winning because she just won for an equally
impressive performance.
Exactly.
For sure.
Okay.
Best actor in a leading role.
On to best
actor.
I'll start because
please.
a lot of people know that this is my Roman Empire. I think about this on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I've said before, Sinners is that movie for me. But as an actor as well, Michael B. Jordan's performance was groundbreaking. I will say
2 performances.
3 performances in my mind.
Really, yeah.
Michael B. Jordan plays Stack, he plays Smoke, and he plays the vampire version of one of the brothers. So like in my opinion, that's 3 performances because the vampire version was so distinct from the original, right? Mm-hmm. But the way you go about that, acting with a partner is easy. You know, they give you things to go off of. You can feel the energy. You can feel, you know, what you should do next. Acting with an inanimate object is harder because there's nothing to really like go off of or vibe off of. Acting with yourself is 10 times harder than that because then you're having to make decisions for 2 people that also have to feel cohesive within themselves. Mm-hmm. Then doing that and being able to make such distinct characters between Stack and Smoke. I mean, when they were doing the press tours, I literally was looking at the pictures and it's like, where's the other brother? Because like you have this such connection to both of them.
They're so distinct.
They're so distinct.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if he does not win this, which my prediction, I'm going to be optimistic and say Michael B. Jordan wins this. I think Timothée Chalamet makes a very good competition, only for the fact that Marty Supreme is a movie because of Timothée Chalamet. He is that movie. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why Timothée Chalamet can also win this. But if they don't give Michael B. Jordan this, I mean, it will break my heart. I will cry on Oscars night. But 2, I mean, it'll be one of the biggest robberies I think I've ever seen.
I think we all agree. Michael B. Jordan was great in Sinners. Yeah. I'm going to say something y'all may disagree with. Marty Supreme could have been starred by a different actor. The editing carries that movie far more than Timothée Chalamet. Yeah. Here's why. There's a lot of comedic moments. There's a lot of comedic moments in that film, and a lot of the film is motivated by, oh, this guy's a jerk, but I want to see what he does next. I think if it was edited any different, people would not be remembering Marty Supreme because a lot of it is him being a bad person, leaving a room, going into another room, and being more of a bad person.
It's chaos.
The way it's edited and put together is really what makes it feel so chaotic. It's not necessarily him going all over the place, being very physical with his acting. It's more so how the film is structured. He's great in the film. I don't think he was the best actor this year.
Yeah, I don't really think that he, like, yes, he is Marty Supreme, but that's because that's who they chose to be Marty. Like what you're saying, like that's who they chose to be Marty Supreme.
Yeah.
Is he Marty Supreme, or is the ad campaign so good that we?
Yeah, I was about to say. I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, yeah, the editing carries it, but I think the advertising campaign for this movie was better than the movie itself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was
like in a lot of ways,
everywhere. He was everywhere.
I am gonna play devil's advocate a little.
Go for it.
Because
Go for it.
Honestly, Michael B. Jordan winning would perfect. That's what I want the most. I want that the most. But I have to. My mind is saying I think Timothée Chalamet is going to win this, partially because of the advertising, because of who Chalamet is, the character he is himself. He's so out there. He's so open to being like, I want to be one of the greats. I want to do this. Again, I don't think last year he should have won for A Complete Unknown, but that was a huge like rivalry that happened during that time. He didn't win it. And then he was like, I'm going to come back next year with Marty Supreme and take it. And I think that sort of confidence is not seen a lot in the acting world of I'm going to be one of the greats. I'm going to win everything. And Timothée Chalamet definitely, helps his case and prove that, like, he can be up there. I think he's better as Paul Atreides too. However, Oscars don't like nominating horror or sci-fi other than, the technical things. But I think Timothée Chalamet has this not only because of his role, he did really well, who he is as a person, but also I don't think Marty Supreme's going to get a lot on awards night.
If it's going to get anything,
and I think
it's going to be too.
And they're going to give it editing, I believe, and they're also going to throw it to Timmy. And it sucks that it's up against Michael B. Jordan and even Wagner Moura and Ethan Hawke, because you don't even see those two in the conversation. However, I really want Michael B. Jordan, but I think it's going to go to Chalamet. And it's another one of those cases where it's like any other year I'd be okay with this, but since it's going up against Sinners,
I don't mean to discredit Timothée Chalamet. I think he has a good performance. I think he did not have to try as hard as anybody else who has been nominated. Yeah. That might be a hot take for some people. That might be a big disagreement. But even compared to Leonardo DiCaprio, I think as a parody of himself almost, like this old white guy who wants to be progressive, that's like kind of who Leonardo DiCaprio is. But I think he did more for his role in One Battle After Another. The franticness that was captured with his daughter and with all the other members of the cast was honestly more impressive than Timothée Chalamet arguing with himself for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
And like the way that DiCaprio plays off of Benicio del Toro and Tiana Taylor.
And Sean Penn. And Chase Infinity.
All of those dynamics work better than Timothée Chalamet himself.
I think you would agree with this from an acting perspective. In how it comes to give and take between actors and scenes, I feel like Timothée Chalamet, he takes up too much space.
I think Timothy.
That works for some points in Marty
Yeah.
Supreme. I'm sure you would all agree.
It's,
It's
it's a very
Yeah.
suffocating film.
When he's a
Yeah.
mole in
Yeah.
a china shop, it is great.
Yeah.
You are following
For
him.
sure.
But when it's so much of the film that is simply him
Yeah.
just ruining things around him, I don't. It doesn't give space to other actors.
And he really does. He dominates the ensemble to a point where I don't really feel like the other performances by the cast, which like the supporting cast is pretty good, but I don't even feel like they have a lot of opportunity to give good supporting performances
Because it's all about
because
him.
it's all about him.
Yeah, I think that's the main point. Is like the writing is put there for Timothy's character to be, the main focus.
Mhm.
Like that is everything that it's supposed to be. And he did his job, so to speak, with the movie. Is that he is the movie. There is no movie
Yeah.
without that character. I should say. I'm not gonna say Timothée Chalamet, does such a great role that no one can play him but him.
Right.
But like that's what it was written for.
Yeah.
I feel like you can add a, so to speak, argument that emotional connection is there or whatever, but I honestly don't see it. I think Timothée Chalamet was put in a role kind of like Tiana Taylor, where the writing is there for him to just do what he would normally since do. And I think any actor could have played that role to a good enough standard. I don't think it was groundbreaking, and I think I just think the writing is what makes it good.
Where we keep talking about with all four of these acting roles, we've been talking about like, yes, these people who are nominated, like who should win, but also like they have such great ensemble casts around them. Like in a year with so many movies like that, like Marty Supreme has great actors in it, and it doesn't feel like it has a strong ensemble around Timothée Chalamet at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't use them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that aids to why Chalamet might win this over other people.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on DiCaprio possibility, or is everyone kind of just like,
If he
I
didn't
don't
win
think
for
so.
The Wolf
Whatever.
of Wall Street or Shutter Island or any of the Martin Scorsese films he's been in, I don't see why he should win for One Battle After
do you
Another.
think that's a DiCaprio problem or a
The Academy.
The
problem?
Academy.
I mean,
Probably
yeah.
Academy.
He was in the
Yeah.
Academy where he was fighting for a Best Actor win for what, 25, 30 years before The Revenant? And The Revenant is
The
what got him.
Revenant,
I
right.
mean,
They
I love
don't like
Alejandro
his-
Iñárritu. He is a fantastic director. Was it Leonardo's best performance? No, it sounds like the Academy was like, okay, he's been doing
It's
it.
finally-
It's
yeah.
Again, Jamie Lee Curtis with Everything Ever All at
Exactly.
Once. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think maybe, but I don't think he was like a standout
No.
from One Battle After
Yeah.
Another.
and he's definitely not in the running as much as Michael B. Jordan or Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah,
were.
100%.
Like, there's no way.
I for sure have One Battle After Another hate, and I think I think that the chaos that is in Marty Supreme is done worse in One Battle After Another,
Mm.
in my opinion.
It feels clunkier.
Feels clunkier.
Mhm.
It's not as linear, in my opinion. And I think the reason Timothy has a stronger base, like we said, is because the rest of his supporting cast isn't there.
Mm.
Um, I think in One Battle After Another, I just don't think DiCaprio's performance is as strong, but I also think his supporting characters also come out and kind of take it away from it a little bit more.
It's like the
because-
reverse. He's outshone.
Yeah, like he's
yeah.
outshone in that movie because I don't think the performance was strong, but I don't think it was written, for
Yeah.
him to even do much.
Right.
He's really just running around trying to find somebody, and it's
Yeah.
and it's just not. It's not to the point where like he has some kind of character development or anything to like push him forward over a hump. Like he ends the movie the same way he started the movie. I don't know. It's a lot of chaos that's not controlled.
Yeah, PTA is like, hey, Leo, you know how you're like a 50-something white liberal? Like, do
Do
that. And he's like, okay.
And it's
And
so
that's what he
crazy.
does.
Like, comparison is the thief of joy. But if we just think about any other Paul Thomas Anderson movie and the lead actors in them,
Mm.
they feel so much more real than Leo. Adam Sandler, Punch Drunk Love. Daniel Day-Lewis, There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix, Inherent Vice. All of these, you can think of those characters, you see an image and you remember everything about them. Bob in One Battle After Another, he's a figure piece. I think this is a great time to transition to Best Director because we're talking about the choices of the great Paul Thomas Anderson. My prediction, he's never won an Oscar. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Jamie Lee Curtis win. He's done so much work for the industry. How could they not give it to him now?
It's basically a legacy award without them saying it's a legacy award.
Exactly, like David Lynch
Yeah.
winning when he's like 70 years old. Like he's past his prime, obviously, but they need to give it to him at some point.
Right.
I think he could definitely make something amazing in the future again. But
Yeah, but
I think
if this is what gets him his first
Right.
directing
And
Oscar,
not There Will Be Blood.
it makes no sense.
Like,
It really
yeah,
makes no sense.
sure.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, I have hopes that Coogler comes out with it. Again.
Agree.
Big
Agree.
Sinners fan. I hate to
Agree.
keep playing the heart, but I think when we look at these movies, everything that the other ones do, Sinners just does it better. I think if we're going to talk about messages of one battle after another and political messages of the times right now, there's nothing in one battle after another that Sinners doesn't harp on in some kind of way, and just maybe for a different demographic or in a different form.
And, no, I was completely agreeing. Like Sinners, just it has a different approach to all this stuff, especially coming
Feels
from
more homegrown. May I say?
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's
100%.
because it's from home. Like this is Coogler's literal experience.
One battle after another feels like, I'm sorry, it's not a fair comparison because one movie is a lot better than the other. It feels like our version of Driving Miss Daisy. It is not an actual critique or examination of the social politics we are in right now. It uses the aesthetics of those politics to make a profit. And that's a big problem for me. Like Paul Thomas Anderson refusing to comment on anything that's happening in the country when the film features ICE camps and fascist government leaders. That takes away from the movie for me. It seems more like, oh, these are really cool set pieces. Let me use those. I don't believe them, but I think it'd be really cool and good for the movie if I added them.
Because I mean, the thing about Sinners is it's like universal. Like even if you don't get the main message it's trying to tell you.
Yeah, if you're not relating to that culture, that
exactly,
experience,
there's still messages of faith. You know, when Remick was basically reciting the Lord's Prayer, and he's like, these things were pushed on to us, like they were pushed on to you. Like there were different messages in this movie, and even if you're not seeing the messages, I mean, just having fun with the movie.
The juke joint.
The juke joint, or the scene with all the different generations coming together. Like you can have fun with this movie, you can enjoy this movie because it comes from a personal place.
Yeah, I
it
think
becomes
music.
from 100%. I mean, the score.
Ludwig
We'll get to that
Göransson,
later,
like,
but the
he's
score.
awesome.
Oh my gosh, the original songs.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie, everything in this movie comes together, and they all feed off of each other. There's not one part of this movie that does not feed off of the other, and I think all of that is because Coogler was inspired and he was motivated from the death of his uncle. That I mean, he just put his whole heart into this thing, and to not see the beauty in it, to give it the awards it deserves. I mean, I am saying that he needs Best Director only because he took things from a personal place. He put it all together in such a perfect way.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
Tabari said it perfectly.
Do we all agree that we want Coogler for Best
Yeah.
Director?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it's time. The
Best-
one everybody comes to hear.
Big
Yeah.
one.
I feel like at this point we've done so much talking of the movies that I feel like we've made it clear.
We've all
what
clear. Yeah.
We've all made it clear like
Where we're leaning.
I think that I mean I know that I want Sinners to win, but also I think it's unlikely that it doesn't at this point. Like there hasn't been
enough support in other award shows for the movie for me to have as much optimism, I guess, for it. Because one battle after another won the Golden Globe, and then it won the BAFTA for drama. So as much as I would love Sinners to win, and again I'm going to be optimistic and say Sinners for Best Picture, I just think their love for PTA and their love for one battle after another with the current political messages that it's portraying. I think and again with people being forced to watch the movies now, I mean you see a headline in the news, you watch one battle after another, and you probably feel some kind of way.
With what it's presenting, you'd think it would have a stronger message by the end, but it doesn't really.
But because it's so blatantly pushed out in front of people's faces, you know what I mean? Like Sinners has a way bigger if we want to talk about political or racial or demographic messages, I mean just because it's
so
set
much
in
deeper,
exactly, just because it's set years in the past does not mean those messages are invisible. But because they're a little bit more built into the story, I mean I think that's why people are so harping on one battle after another in its political messages, because it's right there in your face.
I think they're just overlooking the one in Sinners.
Exactly.
And I think they're also like kind of just shoehorning Sinners into this one political message of like the African American experience, but then they're also like overlooking the cultural vampirism and Irish immigration ties and everything like that.
Oppression,
It's just oppression as in general, where as people are kind of just shoehorning it into this one category, but that's not what the entire movie is, and
in my opinion,
it doesn't make sense.
I don't know if a lot of people would agree with this, and I think a lot of people wouldn't realize this, but I think a key difference in them is where the directors took inspiration. Like Paul Thomas Anderson talks about taking from blaxploitation films from the 70s and the 80s. Okay. Ryan Coogler, very open about his influences from all generations and genres of black directors. Spike Lee, Cassie Lemons with like Southern Gothic from her film Eve's Bayou. Bill Duke and Gordon Parks, some early old figures in film industry. And Coogler didn't just pick one genre to try and like harp on, like PTA. Like it's very obvious his influences if you watch the movie and know a little context. But with Sinners, it feels all its own because it takes from so many sources.
So
I think
agree.
we're agreed.
Yeah.
We're agreed.
I think we're in agreement.
I didn't think we were going to disagree on Best Picture, but
But still,
Yeah.
We agree on wanting Sinners.
You
Yeah,
want
yeah.
Sinners.
predicting
But
over.
overrating
we
One
understand
Battle.
PTA
yeah,
has
I can see
favoritism.
it happening.
Yeah.
And I think there's a world where like Marty Supreme comes from behind and
Maybe.
gets
I-
it,
I
but
think-
but I just doubt it.
I think
at
there's
this
a world
point.
where Hamnet also can come in
Yeah.
and get it. I think that's a very big
Has
sleeper
really,
pick.
like, been in the conversation.
Yeah, that's a
lately
very
more
big
than-
like sleeper pick
Yeah.
for movies within not really just not the acting categories. A lot of the other categories has Hamnet within it, and I can see a world where it's like surprise, and I will be happy. if you
Who
do
knows,
that.
man? Maybe F1 will win on
Yeah.
that.
Well, and like you say that, but well, I mean, no, like F1's obviously not winning, but
Or even like Train Dreams.
like Train. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like Train Dreams, when it came out, was really like, oh my god, like this could come from behind and really be Best Picture. And I don't think that the momentum for it has stayed up at all. Even though I really did like that movie, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I think it's time to go on to miscellaneous categories. Firstly,
I think we go with casting first because everyone knows the answer.
Yeah,
Sinners.
that's fair.
Sinners.
That's fair.
It's
Sinners
gotta go to
Sinners is up for
It's gonna
casting.
go to Sinners.
It can't get any better.
They're
There's not a
awesome.
single part in this movie I think I could
Yeah.
recast better.
Yeah.
than
If,
Cooper.
Agree.
if Sinners doesn't win casting, I don't think I'm ever gonna watch the Academy Awards again. Like,
Yeah.
Fair.
no.
I wanted to transition here because it's the same as the last one. I have the same prediction and hope. I think One Battle After Another is going to take a good amount of Oscars this season, and I think it will likely be for director and cinematography. I want Sinners to win, but I think the one thing that stood out more than anything else in One Battle was how it was shot and the different ways it used the camera.
I would advocate that. I would love for Train Dreams to
Yeah.
come up and win. I think that movie is. I think that there are parts of it, in terms of plot, that fall flat. But it's such a beautiful movie.
Yeah,
like it's shot so well.
I agree completely. I think Train Dreams hasn't gotten a lot of award nominations or looks, but I think cinematography is definitely the one that it excels in amazingly. And I think Sinners was definitely maybe the best of the year, but I think Train Dreams is up there as well. However, they might just give it to One Battle. Well, also like those three films specifically did a lot different things in what they excelled in the cinematography. Like Train Dreams has like the nature aspects are like beautiful. Sinners does so well inside of the juke, but then also like the sunrise scene at the lake.
The night scenes just
yeah,
didn't before.
yeah, and then I think One Battle's just consistent though throughout the film. I don't think
It does a lot of different things well.
yeah, and then Frankenstein can stay like 2 miles away.
Okay,
Wanna talk
other
about
miscellaneous. Do we want to
score?
talk editing?
Let's go
Or have
editing.
you just said
Yeah,
editing?
let's do that.
Okay,
I think this is one where Marty Supreme can definitely win.
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, like you were
Yeah.
saying earlier, Michael, it kind of makes the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and like the Safdies are known for their anxiety-inducing films,
Right.
and Marty Supreme is
It is
No
that.
exception. to that.
no exception, and the editing is the main reason.
For everybody listening, just imagine Marty Supreme if every time Marty is a jerk, it's cut just a little too long. Like he stays in the room, the scene does not cut for a couple extra seconds. It would not be the same movie. The brevity and the quickness of the wit throughout, it really makes it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Agree.
I know we hate on F1.
I
But-
know, you said, no,
but-
the
but
soundtrack and the editing, you talked
Yeah.
about
The
are
soundtrack
great.
and the editing in this film, especially like how they made the film, is very impressive. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. It's very
Yeah.
good, but
Yeah.
Marty Supreme kind of.
I want to sound like Tabari. I honestly, I know we want Sinners to win everything, but I would love for it to win editing because it's one of the only
Yeah.
movies from this past year where I forgot I was watching a movie.
Mm.
Like you just
Oh,
kind of
that's
immerse
so true,
yourself
yeah.
into it,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of
Yeah.
the best qualities that good editing can have.
Can I talk about score?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I love the score of Begonia also because,
Yeah.
and also I was reading up on it a little bit. Yorgos Lanthimos didn't let. It's the same guy that has done most of his movie scores, and he didn't show him the movie at all or any stills or anything from it. He gave him like 4 words. It was like bees, spaceship, bald woman, and one other thing, and that was it. And the score is awesome.
it's amazing.
And knowing that going into it, I noticed sometimes where it's like, oh, they were like, what should we put here that he wrote that for the what piece of the score should go here that can add emotion that wasn't written for it, and it's just, I don't know, it's an awesome score.
It speaks to the beauty
Yeah.
of music,
Yeah,
but for
it's
that
awesome.
very reason,
Yeah.
we've got to say Sinners.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
Ludwig Göransson,
Yeah.
he's awesome.
he's award darling. He wins everything, but like as he should.
No,
He's-
I think
his
Miles
Sinners.
Caton should deserve just as much talent for
Right.
how much he trained on the guitar and
Yeah.
Right.
singing. Like, and also the fact that every almost impactful and emotional moment in the film is based around music.
Mhm.
Whether it be
Yeah.
the juke joint, everybody knows about that, or
Mhm.
Delroy Lindo and the two twins and Miles Caton in the car in that big
Mhm.
field.
Mhm.
That scene like sticks out to me so much, not only because it's shown twice, but because it's cinematographically great.
Yeah.
And the music that is being played is beautiful. And again, I hate to use the word again, homegrown. Like everything else,
Yeah.
you can imagine them in the studio, but Sinners, it feels like it came from the heart.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
emotional and it's from the heart.
Yeah.
And my thing is, like you said, like the movie is about music.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what really grounds it is, you know, the music you hear in the background when things are happening, especially in the beginning, when you're getting introduced to all the characters, when they're rounding everybody up. I mean, for it to truly just captivate you and dive you into the movie, I mean, I don't know. There's something about music in a movie and score in a movie that truly adds to its immersiveness. And I think Sinners does it extremely well. I think Begonia does it extremely
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And I also think it speaks to the impact and power of Sinners that Ryan Coogler was like, let's get Ludwig Göransson, that white guy Ludwig Göransson, like let's get him, like he's gonna be, because, and partially just, you know, to gush about Ludwig Göransson, like he just he immerses into what the movie is, and he understands it very well, and he writes a score that reflects the movie instead of writing a Ludwig Göransson score. Like I love Alexandre Desplat, and I love his scores for Wes Anderson, but you know what you're going in for, you know what you're
You
expecting.
know what you're gonna
I
get.
mean,
Yeah, and I love that. Like that's how Wes Anderson. Like I know what I'm gonna get. And I loved that. I watched Sinners and I went, "That was Ludwig Göransson." Like that's crazy. I wouldn't know.
Like
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
like Ludwig, yeah, he starts as Childish Gambino's like producer, and then goes to Creed, Black Panther, Star Wars, Mandalorian, and then just,
Also, he did the New Girl soundtrack. Like
and then Oppenheimer, and now Sinners. He's best of all time, like one of the best
And
of all
he's
time.
also
And
working on the Odyssey right now as we
Mhm.
speak
Yeah.
with Christopher Nolan.
mhm.
I don't mean for this to sound wrong, but I love him because he knows his place. Like for New Girl, he can make his own music. For Sinners, he knew he needed to take from a lot of and
Yep.
be inspired
Yes,
by
exactly.
many different artists and
Yes.
genres.
adapted screenplay. There's
Frankenstein. I'm taking Frankenstein.
But
oh,
yeah,
are
For
you
me, it's-
seriously Frankenstein?
interesting.
It's so easy to make a boring adaptation. You cannot
Yeah.
say Frankenstein was boring.
No,
You were
yeah.
entertained.
No,
you
that's
were
fair,
you
though.
were compelled
I
to
don't say
feel
it's
certain
boring.
ways.
Mhm.
There were things you had problems with. That's because there were good parts that you wanted to reconcile.
But-
I think as an adaptation of a book that is over 100 years old, it was pretty damn good.
I
fair.
I agree. I just don't take it over
That's
Begonia or Hamnet or Train Dreams.
Uh,
and
Save the Green Planet, I believe, is what the original movie adaptation is called.
Yeah.
Honestly, on par, if not better than Begonia.
really,
I need to. After I watched Begonia last night, I was like, "Oh, this! I didn't realize it was based on something else." Like, I should-
From the
I should-
2000s,
Like, I
it's
need
crazy.
to watch that. Yeah.
do you use that to kind of like discredit Begonia, or
Where
is it just more of a comparison?
More of a comparison because, like, if we're talking about adapted screenplays and how well something does in adapting an original script that is not theirs, it's been done better before. As opposed
Yeah.
to Frankenstein, I can't think of a better Frankenstein movie in my opinion.
Right.
I think it was really
That's fair.
stylistic, really impactful cultural wise. The fact that Guillermo del Toro took his Mexican roots and his heritage and
Mhm.
incorporated that into this story that is known worldwide. I
Yeah.
think that's beautiful.
And also, I think what really makes Begonia is not necessarily the screenplay, but the performance.
No,
of
yeah,
the
the
actors,
performances,
you know?
the cinematography, the direction
Yeah.
are far
Yeah.
more than the story itself. And
That's-
that's-
Okay, you sold me.
That's,
Hey, you sold
that's
me on
true.
it.
I know, I understand it's a
That's
tough
fair.
competition. It's just my hot take.
Yeah.
I like
I mean,
Frankenstein.
I will say one battle did win at the BAFTAs.
Yeah.
So like again, there's still that looming.
Marty
I
Supreme
don't know,
won
fear.
0 out of 11 noms at the BAFTAs, so
True.
anything could happen.
True.
I will take that.
Yeah.
Okay, so writing original screenplay,
I think
it's Sinners. It's
I-
Sinners.
It's so unique. I can't imagine. I would never imagine that story. Especially, it is not from dusk till dawn. It is so much
No,
more.
it's so much more
It's
than
so creative, and it has.
Yeah.
And the fact that he wrote for so many different things, you know, like there's so many different subplots and important moments for different characters, and then all of a sudden, you know, he spends the first hour of the movie. He wrote this whole first hour of the movie to build up all of these characters, and then it becomes a vampire movie. And he wrote that part great.
Yeah.
It feels natural. It ebbs
Yeah.
and flows.
Yeah.
If vampires weren't in this movie, this movie could still be a standalone
Yes.
great story.
Yeah.
I watched the first hour and I go, should I would have watched that movie? You know, like
Exactly.
just that.
And he I remember he did an interview not that long ago where he went and like talked about, you know, the backstory of the twins and all the like extra subplots. He answers it. And the only thing that I feel like people would be wanting more is just like, you know, the extra bits of details or like information that, you know, aren't particular to the movie, but it's stuff that we want to know because of how good of a screenplay
But
it
it's
is.
so good because there's subtext he included. Like,
Exactly.
it's such a clear script, but there's still very open holes that your mind gets to fill.
And-
It's
and-
like he knew what the audience would want
And
to think.
he puts them in just normal dialogue,
Yeah.
just normal conversation. You just learn like here and there. Oh, well, he killed his father.
Yeah,
And
random
like you get a
lore
little bit
drop.
subtext from it, and then well, he used to live with Mary and them, and you get a little subtext for it, and it's so casual in the conversation.
I'm optimistic
I'm hopeful.
that maybe this is going to be, because you know what? I thought the Grammys by and large was pretty damn good this year on who actually won, and that gives me some hope that maybe the Oscars will be the same.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm very glad to not be apathetic about the Oscars.
Yeah, 100%.
2 weeks out.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks until the Oscars. When this comes out, we'll be making a recap podcast. We'll see how that goes.
I'm hoping that we have a very short recap podcast because we come back from spring break after the Oscars and it's like, yeah, that was great.
That was amazing.
good.
We got everything right, guys. As a matter
and
of
then,
fact.
and then we can comment about the amazing political messages that they talk about and all the,
great
other stuff
speeches,
and
yeah.
all the great
Monologues and
speeches and
everything.
everything. And we can pray.
But
Yeah.
until then,
Until then,
Baker community, we have been the Cinema Bros. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
all right.